Good morning, this is World Cup Daily from Stoppage Time News. Everything you missed overnight in one sitting. Coming up, Mexico look terrifying, unbeaten and yet to concede a single goal, and England could be next. The Giants keep falling, four-time winners Germany are out, and so are the Dutch. And Kylian Mbappe rewrites the record books as France roll on. Plus, England's knockout night is finally here. It's Wednesday the 1st of July. Let's get into it. Arthur here, and the last 32 round has been brutal on the big names. Start at the Azteca, where Mexico beat Ecuador 2-0, Julian Quiñones firing the co-hosts in front and Raúl Jiménez sealing it in a weather-delayed cauldron. Ecuador finished with 10 men after Piero Hincapié was sent off for covering his mouth at an opponent, the second player dismissed for exactly that at this tournament. It is Mexico's first knockout win in 40 years. Then the shocks. Four-time winners Germany are gone, beaten 4-3 on penalties by Paraguay, with FIFA later explaining why a German goal in extra time had been ruled out. The Netherlands are out too. Morocco came from behind to win the shootout in Monterrey after the Dutch missed 3 spot kicks. France were imperious, winning 3-0 against Sweden, Kylian Mbappe scoring twice to break the record for the most goals in World Cup knockout history. Erling Haaland's late winner sent Norway past a stubborn Ivory Coast. Brazil needed a Gabriel Martinelli strike deep in stoppage time to edge Japan 2-1, despite a first-half error from Casemiro. And the co-hosts keep marching, Canada beating South Africa 1-0 through Steven Eustáquio to reach the last 16 for the first time ever. What a round! Now the story of the day, and it is a warning shot. Mexico are not just winning, they are dismantling teams. 4 games, 4 victories, and not a single goal conceded. Fortress Azteca has become exactly that, a wall of noise at altitude that visiting sides simply have not solved. The BBC, Sky Sports and The Guardian all framed it the same way overnight. This was ominous. And here is why it matters to us. The winner of tonight's tie between England and DR Congo is in line to meet Mexico in the last 16. So beat DR Congo, and the reward could be the hottest team in the tournament, on their own turf, inside a heaving Azteca. Add in the altitude and the summer heat, and you understand why the neutrals are already calling them the team nobody wants. Mexico have made their statement early, and they have made it emphatically. The question the English papers are asking this morning is a simple one. Is anyone at this World Cup actually equipped to take this Mexico side down? Kate, what's moving on the wire?
Thanks, Arthur, and the usual warning before we start. These are reports and gossip, not done deals. Top of the pile, the BBC's Wednesday gossip column says Paris Saint-Germain have set their asking price for winger Bradley Barcola, a player long linked with the Premier League. The same column reports that Chelsea want Bournemouth striker Eli Jr. Krupi, and that the highly rated Lille midfielder Ayoub Boadi is drawing interest once more. Staying with Chelsea, and this one is official, Xabi Alonso has now formally started work as their new head coach. Sky Sports call it one of the biggest jobs in the game, with questions over Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, and a busy transfer window all landing on his desk at once. Up in Scotland, the BBC reports that Celtic could move for Lithuania midfielder Gienaitis as a potential replacement for Engels, that a Rangers player is admired by Atalanta, and that a Dundee defender is lined up for a 7-figure move. None of it is signed, none of it is sealed, but if even half of this lands, the window just got interesting. Quick hits before we go. The fallout from those shootouts keeps coming. Ronald Koeman has resigned as Netherlands manager in the hours after their exit to Morocco, and sadly, the BBC reports that the Dutch have been dealing with appalling racist abuse aimed at the players who missed their penalties. There's a second managerial casualty too. South Korea's head coach has stepped down after their World Cup exit, the Daily Mail reports, just days after angry fans launched a petition and the country's president issued a public apology. On a lighter note, it is 20 years to the day since Wayne Rooney's red card against Portugal. And speaking to the BBC, Rooney says he would have done exactly the same to get an opponent sent off, revisiting that infamous flashpoint with Cristiano Ronaldo. Away from the tournament, new research commissioned by Sky has revealed a stark postcode lottery in youth sport. The participation gap between girls and boys far wider in some parts of the UK than others. Plenty there to chew on. Back to you, Arthur.
So, what to watch? The big one is tonight, England versus DR Congo in Atlanta, live on BBC One, with a place in the last 16, and that potential date with Mexico on the line. Thomas Tuchel is preaching patience, telling his players not to start doubting, and the BBC says he'll stick to Sir Gareth Southgate's penalty blueprint if it comes to that. He does it without both first-choice right-backs Jarell Quansah and Reece James are injured, with reports even floating Declan Rice as a stand-in there. DR Congo, chasing history of their own, are fancied by some to spring a shock. Win, and the Azteca awaits. That's your morning briefing. We're back with shorts through the day and right here tomorrow. Stoppage time news before the final whistle.